Our first stop, Sydney, Australia. It's the state capital of New South Wales and the most populous city in the land down under. We were in town recently to catch up with one of the nation's biggest sporting icons, Brett Lee. Having announced his retirement from international cricket earlier this year, Lee devotes a lot of time now to his other interests, most notably music and fashion. Currently, he's the ambassador of Artisans of Fashion, an organisation aimed at forging partnerships between Australian designers and traditional Indian artisans. ICC Cricket 360 were invited to an event held at the Strand, and we got a rare chance to see what Brett was like off the field. From the moment he arrived, Binga, as he's affectionately known, was in popular demand, networking and posing for numerous photographs were the order of the day. But as things wound up, Brett sat down with us for an exclusive chat about his illustrious career.
I've enjoyed every single moment playing for Australia. I've loved it. I'm very patriotic. I love playing for green and gold, and the time was to move on. We've got a lot of young guys coming through that can take over the mantle. And as I say, being 35 years of age, I never thought I'd play 13 years of international cricket.
And what a 13-year spell it has been. Brett made his Test debut in 1999 and played his maiden ODI just a few weeks later. He shot to fame by taking 42 wickets in his first 7 Test matches. The speedster was growing in confidence with every game, and that charging run-up coupled with extreme pace was giving even the best batsmen nightmares. While Lee's deliveries were reaching 160 kilometres an hour and causing havoc to oppositions around the world, what made him a smarter bowler was the fact that he was in a team filled with superstars. Australia were the dominant force in world cricket at the time, and with the likes of Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie and Shane Warne in the side, Brett had a front row seat to learn from the very best.
Glenn was just that line length bowler, day in, day out. He actually calls himself boring, but he wasn't. He just put the ball on the spot and waited until the batsman made that error. I guess, me being such an out-and-out attacking bowler, I learnt, halfway through my Test career that it wasn't all about bowling fast. It's about bowling fast but bowling the right line length. And, that definitely came from Glenn. Obviously, bowling in tandem with Shane Warne was brilliant. How he just tied up one end and just gave me the free rein to try and blast some batsmen out. But, you learn a lot from these greats.
It wasn't long before the accolades started arriving. Brett was named Bradman Young Cricketer of the Year in 2000 and tasted World Cup success with Australia just 3 years later. In the same tournament, Lee claimed his first international hat-trick in the game against Kenya.
Oh, straight through him. That's a hat-trick. And what a beautiful delivery to bring up the hat-trick on. Fast, straight, 155.5 Ks.
As a team, the Aussies were becoming more formidable, and as an individual, Brett continued to grow from strength to strength. The challenge now was to lead the line once McGrath and Warne were done with their careers.
I've been waiting in the wings for a lot of years to take that brand new ball and take that first over. So, I did that in one-day cricket whilst Glenn was still playing. He gave me the choice of ends, which was really nice. And so it wasn't like I was thrown in the deep end. I had that experience in one-day cricket, but I've also liked that challenge too and liked that leadership role. And, when he moved on, and as I have now with the young guys coming through, you've actually got to find a way to step up to the plate. As I said, I sort of cherished that moment and that challenge, and, really embraced it.
And boy, did he do it in some style. Post the Warne-McGrath era, Lee stepped up as the country's bowling spearhead. He soon overtook Jason Gillespie to become Australia's 5th highest wicket taker. He was awarded the Allan Border Medal in 2008, an honour given to Australia's best international cricketer of the past 12 months. Several Man of the Series awards followed, and Lee was also named in the 2008 ICC ODI and Test Teams of the Year. Ask Brett about his memorable moments, though, and the individual ones don't really come to mind.
You don't actually play for those fifers or those special catches. You play to win the World Cup, you play to win the Ashes, and I've won pretty much every cup with the Australian time, Australian side, probably other than the Davis Cup. So I've been very lucky. I've played in a great era, and we've won some great stuff.
While he always delivered when called upon, injuries were taking its toll at various points throughout his career. Ankle problems, side strains, stress fractures, elbow issues and calf injuries were forcing Brett to think long and hard about the future. In 2010, he retired from Test cricket to focus on the shorter versions of the game, and this year he decided to finally call time on his international career. He finished as Australia's 4th highest wicket taker in Tests with 310 scalps and the joint highest in ODIs with Glenn McGrath, both on 380 wickets apiece.
The plan was to actually go to the T20 World Cup and see what happens after that, but didn't really expect to get this recent injury with my calf. I went through a sort of period there where I felt really good and picked up this calf injury out of England and got back and contemplated what I really wanted to do. And I guess sort of looking forward with the one days coming up and then the 2020 World Cup. I thought, well, if I wasn't going to play the one days, there's no point in really sort of going on. So I made that call. I've actually stuck by it. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just happy to achieve one game for Australia. I never thought I'd play 70 odd Test matches and over 201 days for Australia. So it's I look back and I'm very proud of what I've achieved. And with injury and stuff, maybe I could have achieved more. But at the end of the day, it's just a few more wickets, isn't it?
Away from the game, Brett's love for music has seen him set up a series of centres in India to help disadvantaged children. He was always a huge hit with the Indian public while on tour, and this was his way of giving back to a country that adores him so much.
I can't keep going to India and just keep taking. And I mean that from like a fun sense and, playing cricket, having some great memories and stuff. You just can't keep going over there and taking the whole time. So I looked into doing some charity work and I didn't want to do stuff with cricket. So I wanted to actually move aside, and my other love was music. So I've built, last count, 6 music centres for underprivileged children. So it gets them off the street, gets them out of the dumping ground. It gives them an opportunity in life. And we've put all the teachers in there, we've put all the staff in there, and the kids come in three days a week and get their lessons, and they learn how to sing and dance. And I'm trying to be, I guess, the springboard between the slums and education. So I'm trying to get them in a classroom environment so they can actually learn.
13 years, over 700 international wickets, and countless memories both on and off the pitch. While there have been bumps on the road, no one can argue that Binga has not only done Australia but the entire cricket fraternity proud. Whether we remember him for his raw pace, that leaping celebration, or the flashy smile, one thing certain, this has truly been a 5-star career.